Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News. As we saw in last night's Men Tell All episode of The Bachelorette, we've got a Bachelor in Paradise preview, and we see that Michael A. will be on the sand at the beach for this coming season of Bachelor in Paradise, which will premiere this fall. So Michael A., good friend of the program, Michael A., which, by the way, has shared just some fantastic information about his charity for his late wife and how he's recovered and deals with the pain of loss and all those things that are so important to the human soul, did a Q&A last night. And in it, he said, quit parent shaming when people, consistently say, oh, why'd you left The Bachelorette, Katie Thurston season, because of your kid, but now you're going to go on Bachelor in Paradise, that type of deal. Just makes you want to reach through your device and just slap somebody. Shut up, Susan. No offense to Susans. We got a lot of nice Susans out there. Shut up, Deborah. Or Billy, whatever. No, it doesn't need a gender. Okay. Anyway, we'll get into this story. Follow me on Instagram at DNeils. He also gives some good insight about his time on Bachelor in Paradise and other things that are pretty nice. It's a touching story. I shared a little bit last night on the pre-episode live stream, but a lot of people didn't catch that, so I'm going to make this video as well. Patreon.com/Dave Neal at 10:15 a.m. today. Right after this video, I'll be live on Patreon to discuss this past episode and what we got going on moving forward. And a quick recap about yesterday. Yesterday, I made this video regarding Blake Horstmann. He was being interviewed.
Cross our fingers, we'll see.
One thing people didn't notice, that I noticed, of course, at the VMAs, was this bug that was on the interviewer. This bug was bonkers. And I even had people write in about this bug. Chelsea Garrett said, can someone Photoshop a tiny microphone on that bug and Photoshop this woman out so it looks like the bug is interviewing Blake? And it's like, come on, listen, who's got the time to go out of their way in a busy world where there's a ton of things going on? I'm trying to plan a wedding, for God's sakes. You think I'm just going to Photoshop a microphone onto some sort of bug? But if you look really closely here, what you actually notice is that I don't even have to Photoshop a microphone onto the bug. I actually decided to zoom in on this photo. It actually looks like this bug is actually reporting for Us Weekly as well. Us Weekly, they're in English, they have a Spanish department, and now they actually do bugs. So there's a big bug population that has been wondering what's going on with Blake Horstmann. In the bug world, it translates to Bug Horstmann, but anyway, they wanted to know, and I was actually, what I was going to do was actually switch the mic flag on the bug to this here, but you can't really see what it is when it's in tiny little, stream there. But it's actually a Bug's Life. So the Bug's Life has a new Pixar documentary where they take bugs and interview them on the red carpet. But the thing is that this bug's not interviewing Blake Horstmann. It's actually interviewing a small piece of a small lice that's on Blake's head. So it's actually they're working in synergy here. All right, so let's get into the story, as it were. We might have lost some of you. We might have gained some more. Who really knows? But also, don't forget that we are supporting our teachers. I just got this from our good friend Mary in Chicago. You guys sent her a ton of goods for her class, and today's teacher is Mrs. Bett. She's in New Jersey, and she's a preschool teacher. She says, look, preschools need a ton of colors, a ton of toys, a ton of fun, and Band-Aids too. So can you believe it? They got to supply their own Band-Aids. Baby Shark, Band-Aid brands, the books, things like that. You can find a link in the comment section below in the pinned comments to any of these products here. The good thing is some of these things are really cheap, $5, $6, $3. So if there's anything on this list you can afford and want to donate to a classroom, it's going to go to a teacher in need and a teacher who is a part of our fun program. All right. With all that said, let's get into Michael A. That's right, we shoot this live, no edits, no jump cuts, just me and you. And we're out of breath already. It's going to be a long day. I'm trying to get all my content done because I got to take, speaking of a bug's life, I got to take my dog to the vet, make sure he doesn't have fleas. I don't think he does, but he's getting old. We want to make sure he's okay before he travels for the wedding. If he does travel with us for the wedding, fingers crossed, only if he's healthy. But anyway, so I'm going to try to get some of this content done before I got to go take Boone. But if you want to follow my journey, I'll be on Instagram posting some updates from the vet today. So Instagram at DNeils. And also, I'm sorry, last one. Don't hate me. Last one. Stand-up show this Saturday, 8 p.m. in Hollywood. There'll be a link to the tickets in the comment section. Use code DAVE if you want to get a $5 discount. Come to the show and laugh. All right, here he is.
This one, for one, it was only 3 weeks
Question was, what made you decide to go on Paradise?
filming, so I wasn't going to be long away from James. And also, I was going back and forth, but kind of troubled with like the what ifs, and I never want to not do something because I'm too scared. So this
and my thought with that is, it's like, look, you came off of Bachelorette looking like a hero. Don't mess this up. But if you believe you're not a dramatic person, like Michael A's, he was the oldest contestant. No, I mean, he's my age, doesn't feel old, but like old enough to like avoid red flags, old enough to avoid stupid fights. So when it comes to the Bachelor producers, they want drama, Victoria Fuller types, and then they want wholesome stories where they might actually get some amazing ending, a Michael A type. Or maybe they'll get both, but they know who's going to provide the drama and who's not. Does James believe in Santa? And if so, when will you tell him what a liar you are? What do you mean liar? Lying about what? Santa's real.
Let me rolling. James does believe in Santa, and I hope he always does. I don't think I'm ever going to tell him that he doesn't exist. He'll come to the conclusion on his own, but from now...
Best quote, that's Santa! I know him! Name that movie.
Just let kids be kids. Jeez.
In order
to have a good weekend, you gotta get
how to stay motivated on Mondays. I'm struggling.
Stuff done in the week. No day is better than Monday and Tuesday to get it done. If you're effective on those days, then the rest of the week just flies by.
It's easy to stay motivated when we have such a full head of hair. I mean, the volume of that beard is impressive, and a full hairline, not bad for late 30s. Credit where it's due. This is where you got to hold on to them follicles as long as you can. Are you nervous for Bachelor in Paradise to air or feeling good about the experience?
Honestly, I'd say both. You see everything in first person, so there's a lot of things that you're not able to see, but watching myself on TV is horrifying, so that's the nerve-wracking part. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be a mess tomorrow.
That is today, so everyone go to Michael A's Instagram and wish him well today. He said, my son starts kindergarten this year too. Are you more excited or nervous for James to start?
Starting kindergarten just feels like this big event and milestone.
And then we also have to remember that he doesn't have his wife, his late wife, with him. So for all these milestones with their kid, I mean, can you imagine the pain and the different emotions that you go through as you pursue these life moments without the person you had loved with you by your side? That's got to be both so encouraging to see your son grow up, but also just so sad that you don't have someone there to hold as you watch him onto the bus or whatever it is.
That should be shared with somebody else, and I can't help but think if Laura was here, how much she would love this moment. So this one's hard to beat, but Laura...
The most romantic thing a woman has ever done for you.
Passed away in January of 2019, and 4 months later on Father's Day, someone knocked at the door and handed me flowers. So she had set that up even though she was going through the hardest time in her life. I wasn't...
Jeez. Right? How's your day going, guys? Rough day, didn't get enough sleep last night. It's all gets put into perspective. Next question. Was it weird being the old man in Paradise with Casey being a full year younger than you?
Surprised that I was the oldest person on the beach, but I was actually surprised that Casey is only 36. He just looks so much older. Doesn't he? Just so much older.
Easy on the late 30s. Shame. All right, here it is. Sauce Wars, by the way. I'm wearing my Game of Roses shirt here. They have a merchandise. Go on their Instagram to find it out. Fits kind of nice on me, right? It's good on the show. This is what a guy likes. A little tight on the show, on the sleeves, nice on the chest, but it leaves a little space for the belly. This is what you want in your late 30s.
Definitely Traverse City, Michigan.
Favorite long-distance road trip destination, Traverse City, Michigan.
Upper Michigan is awesome. So, yeah. I know being in Ohio, that's like sacrilege, but... Yep, still working my 9 to 5, often later. My family and I started a uniform and safety company in 2014. So still running that, growing that, all as well. And also L4. This is a great question.
L4 is his charity for his late wife.
I would say that if you're trying to pursue...
What has life taught you recently?
Happiness, you know best. You're the author of your own story. You shouldn't have to constrict your life around other people's expectations. So go out. I cannot wait for this. This guy has been engaged for like 2.5 years because COVID threw a wrench in it, and it's finally here. I'm so excited for them. Nobody deserves more happiness than my brother. So this is actually a new revelation
What is something you try to improve on, but it's difficult for you?
I found out about myself a couple months ago is that I have a hard time receiving love. No problem like giving it out in like a caregiver, protector kind of sense, but have a hard time welcoming it into my life.
You know, that's I think common, not to be sexist, but with men, I think we're taught to bottle down our emotions, and it's easy to give. But like for me, like I want affirmations, but it's hard for me to take. Someone's like, "Hey, Dave, I think you're X, Y, and Z," and they say something nice. I'm like, "Oh, get out of here, you're crazy," you know. But in my soul, I want that. It's just hard to absorb that sometimes. It's funny. I actually had a stand-up set last Tuesday, and I had a good set. But as a comic, we're always critical. There's always something we can improve on. There's no perfect set. So I had a good set. And then afterwards, a buddy of mine was like, "Dave, you did great up there." And I started by going, "Well, you know, I think I should have. I missed a fastball on this." And then I said, "You know what? Hold on. Let me stop myself. Thank you." You know what I mean? And it's the same thing about receiving love. Like just know that you're worthy of it. Just know that you're, perfect in who you're supposed to be in this moment. You can always try to improve and be a better person moving forward, but like you should anticipate that by sharing that love with others, that you are open to receive it. It's a boomerang.
So I don't think this is a misconception about me as much as it is about a misconception about parenting. After the Bachelor in Paradise cast was announced, I received a lot of messages from, people that were appalled that I left my son for that amount of time. And typically these are people that don't appear to have children, because most parents understand that you are an individual as well. Even though you have a child and are a parent, you're way more than that. And so I'm under the impression always that a happy parent creates happy children. And I needed to do this in order to prove to myself that I could, and also experiencing some new things in my life that gave me fuel and made me feel whole.
So I'll just say this. No one wants a dad that has to work 80 hours a week at the steel mill and hates his job when he could have been pursuing his passion. Look, work at the steel mill by all means. I'm not judging people's jobs, but you're not a good parent. You're just not a good parent if you don't have time to share love. Now, my mom worked in sales, and I know that wasn't her dream job. She had 2 kids, early 20s, and she worked her butt off, and she's finally able to like be a better. Well, she was a great mom. That's not the point. We do the best with everything we have, but for people to think that Michael might not be a good dad because he's pursuing this opportunity that's going to, in fact, be better for his family, it's beyond rubbish. It's really insulting on him. But I've been there where I've made fun, and I do it more as a joke. I would never DM these people, but I've made fun of Amanda Stanton. I made fun of her for racking up the babysitter bill with her 2 kids, but I knew she was doing something like big for her family. She's basically creating so many opportunities. So if the kids have a healthy and safe place to go, can hang with grandparents or whatever for a couple of weeks, these are the opportunities not worth missing.
I think about this all the time.
Sorry.
Feel whole. So enough with the parent shaming, guys. I do a great job as a dad. I think about
enough with the parent shaming. Oh yeah, I love it. F those people. Seriously. Let me tell you guys something. Let me tell you something right now. If by a long shot any of those types are in our audience, unsubscribe right now. We don't need you. We don't want that energy in our life. No. If anyone in our audience is DMing any hate or negativity, I ask you to look in the mirror and remember that they are reading your messages, even if they don't respond to them, and it's not appropriate.
About this all the time, and I think she'd be proud of me because I kept fighting. I kept having a zest for life. Those are the attributes that she fell in love with when we got married. And it's easy to be sad. It's hard to be happy, especially after tragedy.
Wow. All right. How are we challenging ourselves to be better, to be happier? Not in some toxic way, but to really find that fulfillment that adds positive energy and shares it with the world. Let me know, guys. Leave a comment below. I'm on Instagram at DNeils. I'm going live on Patreon right after this, patreon.com/Dave Neal. God bless all of you. I hope you enjoyed Michael's words. They really hit me real hard in the feels, and we need to share more of that love. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye, guys.